So, what are we finna talk about? I bet you wondering what are we about to talk about today. Like, it's so many topics. Sometimes I don't know what we're gonna talk about, but we finna talk about what are the trends in the cost of college education. Yes, it started from 2021 to 2022. And then I just want to read the first line. I'm not going to read the rest, but I'm going to read the first line and only the key parts of it. So it says the total cost of attending a post-secondary institution includes the sum of published tuition and required fees, books and supplies, and the average cost for room, board, and other expenses for each institution. So now if you know me and you follow us, right, we always say that you should not stay on campus for that reason exactly right there: room, board, and other expenses. Like I said, if you don't budget or do your own expenses, they can just they can advertise like, oh, you need this much money if you're going to stay off campus. And then they'll make you stay on campus when you're really not saving money for college. Because that money that you got going to dorms and meal plans, that could go to your education. And then you could pay your own rent with just the money you work for your part-time or full-time job. Because remember, it's going to take money to go to school. It's going to take money to get any type of education you want in life. I want to keep that in mind. We're going to see that they differed it from private, nonprofit, and they added private for-profit. So I know some of you might not know what for-profit schools are, but don't worry, I'm gonna give you a video on that. I got you. I'm gonna give you one on that. Don't worry. For-profit schools. I'm gonna note it down right now for y'all. We're also gonna be talking about 4-year schools and 2-year schools. 4-year and 2-year, we're gonna talk about those, and then we're gonna, so right here on this line, for example, in 2021 through 2022, the average total cost of attendance for first time, full time. So when they say first time, they're talking about your first time going to school, your first year of school, your first year, so your fall and spring. And then when they say your full-time undergraduate students, that means if you're freshman to senior in undergrad, not grad school. So, you know, undergrad is where you're gonna take your freshman, sophomore classes. That's why I say start at 2 year. You taking that math and English and those classes you don't even need when you really just need to be in your junior, senior classes. Yeah, that's undergrad. First time full-time undergraduate students living on campus at 4-year institutions was higher at private, nonprofit institutions, $55,800 than at private for-profit institutions. So what they're saying is that private nonprofit institutions was $55,800, and then the private for-profit institutions was $32,900, and the public institutions was $26,000. Now, why they didn't mention 2-year colleges? Because we're only focusing on 4-year right now in this one. In the next chart, it's going to be 2 years. So I'm just going to jump right down to the good, juicy stuff. So we are only focusing on 4-year because I don't want to confuse you right now. I want to show you like 4-year then 2-year. Like, I don't want to confuse you. It goes, like I said, it goes from 2010. The blue is 2010 to 2011, and the purple is 21 to 22. So in 2010 to 2011, it was $9,100. So the average tuition, so in the figure, this figure right here we're looking at, it says average tuition and fees of degree granting institutions for first time, full-time undergraduate students by level and control of institution. Don't know what control of institution really is, but okay. So average tuition and fees for degree granting institutions. So degree granting is like financial aid, grants, anything that can help assist you in school, those degree granting institutions. 2010 to 2011, you got $9,100. And then in 2021 to 2022, it goes up to $9,700. So it went up $600 between that time. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot. So we go look at the 2010 to 2011 private nonprofit and private for-profit. I don't really care about these institutions only because if you go to a private school, you're going to pay a lot of money. If you go to a nonprofit or for-profit private school, you're paying a lot of money. I don't really see the point in private schools, because if they want you, they're gonna get you. If they want you, they're gonna either give you a scholarship or give you a really, really good price on that. So I don't touch private schools. I really don't have nothing to say about private schools. But if you want to save money in college, I highly advise don't go to private schools. So we're not even gonna waste our time on private schools. Public went from 91 to 9,700. And like as I said before, we're not touching private at all. So if we go to the 2-year side, the 2-year side from 2010 to 2022 pretty much only went up $500. It only went up $500, only went up to $4,000. Let me see. Let me do some math right quick. Hold on. I like to mess with y'all, show y'all that I'm not the smartest person in the world. I just know how to do this and make sure you do it right. I'm good with basic math. 3,500 plus 500 is 4,000. It only went up $500 between that time. And you might say, well, Henry, the public university only went up 600. That's not that much of a difference. Yeah. It's not. Let's keep going, because we have a whole nother article. I want to keep that in mind. We have a whole nother article we're gonna switch to. So looking at that chart, it wasn't really much to give us, but I really love words, because if you look down here in these words, as we keep going down, these words right here say, okay, 9,700. You fast forward, read through that stuff. It really doesn't give us much, but you look here, you can read that stuff if you want to. It will help. Everything helps, but we're scanning a little bit. So the 9,700 for public institutions was 6% higher than 9,100 in 2010 to 2011. And so private schools are constantly going to be expensive. Some might be more affordable, but private has their own different rules. They have their own different accreditation. They have all these different things that I will talk about in other videos, but I don't suggest private schools. And so we go look at the 2-year, and the 2-year says that $4,000 for public institutions was 13% higher than $3,500 in 2010 to 2011. Now, some people might say, well, that went up more. But if you look at the numbers, the 2-year college was at $3,500. And then now, today, pretty much in 2020, it only went up to $4,000. I don't think we're catching that, right? Like, I really don't think we're catching that. They only went up $500 from a whole decade. So from 2010 to 2020, the 2020, or the 2021 to 2022. Yeah, from 2010 to 2022, over a decade, it went up just $500. And we look at universities, they're going up significantly. If we look back then, they were already kind of high. But these 2 years are barely moving margins, which really takes us to our next article to vouch for us. So the name of this article is Cost of College Over Time. Rising tuition statistics, right? We love statistics, good old statistics. But luckily we got people today who's going to do it for us. Higher education, like I said, is more than passing and failing. It's more to it. It's also students dealing with depression, students dealing with parents or homesickness and all the outside things. So in this article, we're going to focus on the 2-year college, because I love 2-year colleges. And we're going to also look at how 4 years shot up and 2 years stayed the same. That's all I want to focus on in this article. She wrote in this article that average tuition and fees for undergraduates from 1963 to 2020, right? Close to the other website, the National Educational Statistics, close to that one. As we see here, you're gonna see me drag it. 4-year schools. I'm not sure it's including private or public, but definitely public, but I'm not sure if it's including private, because private, that's the only thing. So 4-year schools. 53, 66, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. This is from 1988, Let's keep going. Oh my goodness, it's in the 10s. Oh my goodness, it's in the 11s. Oh my goodness, it's in the 12s. And it's only 2004, and it's already in 13,000. So if we just fast forward to 2020, $16,618. I got it right. So this is including the average cost of tuition in the U.S. for undergraduate students has more than tripled. I'm not sure if she included room and board. I'm not sure if she included room and board and meal plans. I'm not sure. But universities, that is expensive. If that is just tuition and fees alone, I feel sorry for you. So now we're looking at the 2 year. My favorite people, my favorite schools. If I can get a master's degree at a 2 year college, I don't think that'd be fair with it. If I get a 4 year degree at a 2 year college, that wouldn't be fair with it. So about 2 year college from 1963, which we're not gonna talk about that, if you know what I mean. But from that time to all the way up, it's still in the thousands. All the way from 1963 to 1980, it's still 1,500, right? 2005 is only $3,000. 2020, 3781. Hey, that's a lot of money for both semesters. That's a lot of money for both semesters. It's only for 2 semesters, probably. Just like it was for the university one. You just divide it by 2, fall and spring. And then summer, you might not even pay that much. You might take maybe 2 classes. You might take like 3 or 4 classes, 2 classes in the summer and at a university. It might not be that much, but you have to divide these by 2. So if it says 3781 like it does on the screen, you have to divide that by 2. So your tuition might be like $1,000 some dollars. $1,000 some dollars? With them kind of increasing the wages really to match that, depending on your occupation. But I'll be honest, guys, you probably don't believe me, but when I was a part-time student, I was paying for that. And so we go down. She talks about how over time, by type, that the past 20 years of tuition rise, we understand that tuition has gone crazy because everybody and their parents are pulling out student loans to go to universities that they don't need to go to. When they, like, if you're trying to be a teacher, I don't see why you're trying to be a teacher and you going to a prestige university. But you know, I'm not gonna get into that. If you want to be a teacher, you really can just go to a 2 year college and bridge to a low, very affordable 4 year. Once again, they have this nice little average tuition and fees by institution type from 2000 to 2020. Once again, at our top, we got the private. We ain't touching private. Please don't go to a private school or private college to be exact. Don't go there. And so we got some private for-profits. Once again, we ain't touching private. Then we got the 4 year publics under here. And then the highest it goes to is $9,375. Now, that's with average tuition and fees. Once again, if you go to a 4 year, you got just divide this by 2, because I doubt there's a school that's going to charge you $9,000 for your 1 semester. But overall, fall and spring, they probably will come out to that. So you got to divide that by 2. But once again, my public 2 year colleges, once again, are sitting at the 3s. Split that by 2. They barely move. 2 year colleges barely move the chains on raising tuition and fees. Don't know why? Because they're meant for us to go there and be affordable. Once again, I do want to keep this in mind. You don't have to sit here and watch this video from beginning to end. Please take a break. Please go eat. Please go work out. Please go balance yourself, because school ain't going nowhere. It's only gonna get higher. But you don't have to sit here and watch me, because you shouldn't be watching me 24/7. You should be productive. The total cost of college over time. Here in this article, she mentions the total cost of college also includes room and board, books, and other supplies. I don't know why books are in there, because I used to get my books off Amazon, rent them, ship them back, get them from peers who took the class before. Or we used to be like, do we really need the book? Sometimes the professor really be like, you don't need the book, save your money. So I don't know why books are in there, but no comment. She did real good on this still. The higher tuition costs has been the primary driver for the overall increase in price of college. But rising supplemental fees have also contributed. And as she said right here, between 1963 and 2021, the cost of room and board almost doubled. So it increased by 94% from $6,311 to $12,233. Oh my. Oh my. So remember, guys, if it says 12,233, divide that by two. Because I have not ever seen a room and board that was $12,000. Never seen it. But divide it by two because it's probably just combined together. These videos right here are going to be the longer ones. So I really, if you made it to the end of this video, I salute you because these videos do take longer and they do take time. I don't expect you to watch this in one day because some of the information when you're reading it, you're not going to have a clue of what you're looking at. So I do want you to take your time, like play maybe 2 minutes a day, or and then go look at some websites and try to read some other stuff and learn the higher education terminology because higher education does have a terminology that goes into a whole nother language. It's like learning a whole nother language, and I'm still learning it.